Very good afternoon to one and all. In this class, we are going to discuss about the second chapter, review of object orientation. Actually, all these concepts related to object oriented programming features, so we can cover and we can easily understand. Here, what is object orientation? Already we have idea about in the UC level, that is the object oriented programming features. We have the two types of paradigms, that is the procedural paradigm or procedural model and object oriented paradigm. In the procedural paradigm, software is organized around the notion of procedures. Procedural abstraction works as long as the data is simple. Adding data abstractions group together the pieces of data that describe some entity helps reduce the system's complexity, such as records and structures. So procedural paradigm examples tree programming and object oriented paradigm, we have the example of Java and C++. Organizing procedural abstraction in the context of data abstractions. Next slide. Object oriented paradigm, an approach to the solution of problems in which all computations are performed in the context of objects. Here we are dealing with the concept of the objects. The objects are instances of classes which are data abstractions, contain procedural abstraction that operation on objects. So objects are instance of classes which are data abstractions and also contain procedural abstractions that the operation on the objects. So it has the object, it has data and as well as procedural abstractions. A running program can be seen as a collection of objects collaborating to perform a given task. If we run a program, it can be seen as a collection of objects collaborating to perform a given task. Here we example of the diagrammatic presentation of this is the procedural abstraction. In this we have the procedures, compute interest and compute fees. This is the object oriented paradigm. Here we have the classes. An instance of the class is object. In object we have data abstraction and procedural abstraction. Data abstraction or the variable declaration like data, and procedural abstractions are the methods what we are writing on the data. So checking account, saving account, compute interest and compute fees. And the next slide 5. Classes and objects. We know that classes and objects. So object is a chunk of structured data in a running software, has properties, represent its state, has behavior, how it acts and reacts, may simulate the behavior of an object in the real world. So every object has properties and has behavior. Properties is attributes and behavior is methods. And next, here we take another example, that is the object. Here the different classes instances that are the objects: Jane, Greg, Margaret, and saving account number, transaction and mortgage account number, instant teller. All these are the objects of a banking account system. And next, seventh one, classes. What is after finishing the object? Objects has properties and objects also have behavior. And now we are having the class definition. Class is a unit of abstraction in an object oriented program and represents similar objects, that's the instance. Also we can say that collection of objects as a class is a kind of software module. Describe its instances, structure, properties, contains method to implement their behavior. Every class has instances. Next, every class has methods to implement their behavior. Next, eighth one. Next, eighth one. Okay. something a class or an instance. Okay, example we take, something should be a class if it could have instances. Something should be an instance if it is clearly a single member of the set of defined by a class. So simply say class is a collection of objects and object is an instance of class. Here film, classic instance or individual films. Reel of film, so class instance or physical reels. Film reel with the serial number, that is the instance of reel of film. And science fiction instance of the class genre. And science fiction film class instance include Star Wars and showing of Star Wars in the Phoenix Cinema at 7 p.m. It is an instance of showing of film. So here we are giving that film is a class, reel of film is also a class, and film reel with serial number is an instance, and science fiction also instance. Science fiction is a class, and showing of Star Wars in the Phoenix Cinema at 7 p.m. it's also an instance. Next, naming classes. So after defining the what is the object and what is class and what are the examples of objects and classes, we now come to the point of how to naming a class. Use capital letters. Example, bank account, not a bank account, and use singular nouns. Use the right level of generality, that is the municipality, not the city. Make sure the names has only one meaning, bus has several meanings. Example, next slide, that is the instance variables. Here already we mentioned that variables defined inside a class corresponding to data present in each instance. Already we mentioned that data abstractions, that is the attributes that are the variables. Attributes, simple data, name, date of birth, like associations, relationship to other important classes. Example, supervisor course taken. More on this chapter 5. Already we have these ideas in the UC level of object oriented programming, the features. That's why I go a little bit faster. And variables versus objects. A variable refers to an object, may refer to different objects at a different point in time. An object can be referred to by several different variables at the same time. And type of variable determines what classes of objects it may contain. So a variable refers to an object, may refer to different objects at a different point in time. An object can be referred by several different variables at the same time. And next, here we have a class variable's value is shared by all instances of class. If we are declaring class variables, the variable value is shared by all instances of a class, also called a static variable. If one instance sets the value of a class variable, then all other instances see the same changed value. Class variables are useful for default or constant values, lookup tables and similar structures. And methods, operations and polymorphism. Operation, we know that a high level procedural abstraction that specifies the type of behavior, that is the functionality, independent of any code which implements the behavior. Example, calculating area, that is the example of the polymorphism also. And next slide. Methods, operations and polymorphisms. Continuation. A procedural abstraction used to implement the behavior of a class. Several different classes can have methods with the same name. Already we know the definition of the polymorphism. What is that? Several different classes can have methods with the same name. The methods with the same name but different functionality. They implement the same abstract operation in ways suitable to each class. Calculating area in rectangle is done differently from calculating a circle. And next, polymorphism. A property of object-oriented software a property of object-oriented software by which an abstract operation may be performed in different ways in different classes. An operation may be performed in different ways in different classes. Require that there be multiple methods of the same name. The choice of which one to execute depends on the object that is in a variable. Reduce the need for programming to code many if else or switch statements. And organizing classes into inheritance hierarchies. We know that inheritance hierarchies: base class, derived class, then after the subclasses like superclass, it contain features common to a set of subclasses. Inheritance hierarchies to show the relationship among subclasses and superclasses. A triangle shows a generalization symbol. Inheritance: the implicit possession by all subclasses of features defined in its superclass. So here we have the superclass contain features common to a set of subclasses. Inheritance hierarchies shows the relationship among the superclass and subclasses. A triangle shows a generalization. Inheritance implicit possession by all subclasses of features defined in its superclass, that is the inheritance. Example: account as the base class and derived classes, and the triangle symbol indication of the inheritance. Here saving account is derived class and checking account is also derived class and mortgage account is. The inheritance: implicit possession of all subclasses of features defined in its superclass. So here saving account, checking account, mortgage accounts have the same information of the base class. We can add the number of again, just a minute. Okay, okay, next slide. 18. The ESA rule: always check generalization to ensure they obey the ESA rule. A checking account is an account, it must be, and a village is a municipality. And should province be a subclass of country? No, it violates the ESA rule. A province is a country is invalid. So always it must follow the ESA rule. And example, one more example, this is the mathematical object. So we are taking mathematical object, maybe here the generalization symbol, and derived classes are shape, point and matrix. Again the shape is base class of the shape 2D and shape 3D, and again shape 2D is the base class or superclass of the ellipse and polygon, and ellipse is the base class or superclass of the circle, and rectangle is the subclass of quadrilateral, and quadrilateral is the subclass of the superclass polygon. Like shape 3D is again superclass of the subclasses line and plane. So this is another example. You can write any one example, maybe simpler of the previous one, or you can write this also. And next 20th slide, make sure all inherited features make sense in subclass. Here okay, account, the detailed one. Here we are adding the attributes of balance, opened, credit or overdraft limit, and again credit to debit to calculate interest. Here also highest check number, and also withdraw using check, calculate service charge, and collateral property and collateral value, and set collateral value. This is adding attributes and methods here. And inheritance, polymorphism and variables. Here some operations in the shape example. Here original objects showing boundary rectangle, and rotated objects showing bounded rectangle, and translated object showing original, and scaling objects we can show, and scaled objects here we can observe that. So that is the. And next 23, abstract clauses and methods. An operation should be declared to exist at the highest class in the hierarchy where its it makes sense. The operation may be abstract. If so, the class also must be abstract. No instances can be created. If a superclass has an abstract operation, then its subclass at some level must have a concrete method for the operation. We know the concepts of abstract classes and methods. And overriding. The features like polymorphism also we can cover the overriding and the UC level. If we have the same classes in the super and base classes, which one is effective? The recent class method will be work effectively. A method would be inherited, but a subclass contains a new version instead. For restriction scale x y would not work in circle. For extension, saving account might change an extra fee following every debit. For optimization example, the perimeter length method in circle is much simpler than the one in ellipse. So here the which one method will be effective? Immutable objects. Instance variables may only be set when an object is first created. None of the operations allow any changes to the instance variables. Example, a scale method could only create a new object, not modify an existing one. And how a decision is made about which method to run. If there is a concrete method for the operation in the current state, run that method. So base class method and writing the concrete method for the operation in the current class, that is the derived class, that run that method. Otherwise, check in the immediate super class to see if there is a method there. If so, run it. Repeat step 2, looking it successively higher superclass until a concrete method is found and run. If no method is found, then there is an error. In Java and C++, the program would not have completed. And dynamic binding. So after overriding, we have the concept of the dynamic binding. Runtime linking is the dynamic binding occurs when decision about which method to run can only be made at runtime, needed when a variable is declared to have superclass as its type and there is more than one possible polymorphic methods that could be run among the type of the variable and its subclass. Already the concepts are covered in that's why I go little fast. And next, concept that define objective orientation. So whatever the concepts we have, so necessary for a system or language to objective oriented, that is the identity, classes, inheritance and polymorphism. Identity is each object is distinct from other objects. Two objects are distinct from one to another. Classes, the code is organized using classes, each of which describes a set of objects. Inheritance is a mechanism where features in a hierarchy inherit from superclass to subclasses. Polymorphism is a mechanism by which several methods can have the same name and implement the same abstract operation. So have the same name. And next, other key concepts. Abstraction. In the abstraction, objects, something in the world. Class, collection of objects is a class. Superclass, subclass, operation methods, attributes and association, instance variables. Here this is the concepts related to abstraction. Modularity, code can be constructed entirely of classes. Encapsulation, details can be hidden in class. This gives rise of information hiding. Details can be hidden in the class. Only important or focused information only be presented. Details can be hidden in class. So this give rise to information hiding, and programmers do not need to know all the details of a class. And next, the basics of Java. Already Java history. The first object-oriented programming language was Simula 67. In the early 1980s, Smalltalk was developed at Xerox PARC, and late 1980s C++ was developed by Stroudstrup. In 1991, engineers at Sun Microsystems started project to design a language that could be used in consumer small devices, that's the OAK. When the internet gained popularity, Sun saw an opportunity to exploit the technology. The new language, renamed Java, was formally presented in 1995 at the Sun World's 95 conference. And Java documentation. Here, looking up classes and methods is an essential skill. Looking up unknown classes and methods will get you a long way toward understanding code. Java documentation can be automatically generated by a program called Java DOC, Java Docs. Documentation is generated from the code and its comments. You should format your comments as shown in some of the books example. These may include embedded HTML and overview of Java. The next few slides will remind you of several key Java features. So next, that is the character is a class representing Unicode characters. Char is a primitive data type containing a Unicode character, and string is a class containing a collection of characters, and arrays are for exercise and like methods to manipulate them. Vector is most widely used class to hold a collection of other objects. Iterators are used to access members of the vectors. And Java is very strict about two types. If a variable is declared to have the type X, you can only invoke operation on it that are defined in class X or its superclass. If you know an instance of a subclass is stored, then you can cast the variable to the subclass. And anything that can go wrong should result in the rising of an exception. Here we are using the concepts of exceptions. Exception is a class with many subclasses for specific things that can go wrong. And interfaces like abstract classes but cannot have executable statements define a set of operations that may sense in several classes. Abstract data types entity. A class can implement any number of interfaces. It must have concrete methods for the operation. You can declare the type of a variable to be an interface. Important interfaces in Java's library include runnable, collection, iterator, comparable, clonable. Already we know the concepts. And packages and importing. The package combines related classes into subsystems. All the classes in a particular directory. Classes in different packages can have the same name, although not recommended. Importing a package is done as follows: import finance.banking.accounts.star. That is the importing a package. That's the statement we are using. And access control applies to methods and variables. We have the public, any class can access protected, only code in the package or subclasses can access, and only code in the package can access. And if we give blank, private, only code written in the class can access, return in the class can access. Inheritance still occurs. And next 40, this is the last slide of today's class. Thread, 40th slide, a sequence of executing statements that can be running concurrently with other threads. To create a thread in Java, create a class implementing runnable or extending thread. Implement the run method as a loop that does something for a period of time. Create an instance of this class. Invoke the start operation which calls run. Okay, by this slide, 40th slide, I stop here. We will continue from the 41 slide in the next class. Thank you.